Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tuje Namaha. And today in our mini Vandana, let us chant also Srila Gurudev's Pranam Mantram and Srila Guru Maharaj's Pranam Mantram today. So Gurba Vista Supurakam Guru Ganaira Shisha Shambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Pantanugam Govinda Vidhamujvalam Varatanang Bhaktyan Vitang Sundaram Bande Vishwagurum Chadivyam Bhagavat Premno Hi Bijaparam Devam Divyatanam Sachandavadanam Balaka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sareka Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhaktilasitam Saraswatanam Varam Bande Tang Shubharang Madhekesharanam Yashishwaram Sridharam Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So just also one moment, I see that Dana is with us, and I was speaking just, well, within the last 1 hour to Abhinavasundar and Kalikadamba. They are still hoping to make some arrangement to meet you soon. So some hope is in the air for Sadhu Sangha in
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, Govinda Govinda. We're happy to have you with so many good devotees here. And Priya Bhakta Prabhu, I will get to reply you soon. I promise. We must keep our promise. But I heard all of your messages, but then I didn't immediately reply. Then I have to go back and hear them again to see what is there. So pray back to Prabhu, all is good, and you did say I can take my time to reply. So I'm taking that liberty. All right, so now Lavanya Mayi Devi is going to share something representing Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. Lavanya.
The only positive things that I'm at the beginning of the Zoom, so that possibly there's something for me to say for everyone else has said. But I will only be saying what you would all be saying, and you'll be saying it much better than me. But since I have to attend something, I will. Well, I never met Srila Guru Maharaj, and so I have no actual separation of his association, but having association with Srila Govinda Maharaj, we know that the Guru is ever present with us wherever we are, and of course it's very wonderful to sit with them and have the sweet association and their guidance and teachings, but we have to also stand up and serve without them next to us, and we have to find our connection with them in our hearts, and they're there, so we have to have the right vision that we can see that they are with us and guiding us. Whether we can hear their guidance or follow it, we might not, we might fail, but we'll keep trying. And their mercy is like that we can, even when Srila Govinda Maharaj was here, you know, I saw him maybe once every couple of years, or when he came to London, then, you know, 2 times a year, maybe 3 times. So not that I had his association all the time, but through listening to the classes and the scriptures and the devotees, then you have the association is there also very much. And so hopefully we can, through our memory of Guru, and we hold them in our consciousness, in our heart, that we're eternally with them, and that will be a gradual path of realizing them, and it will never stop. It's an ever increasing progressive path. But yeah, there's obviously nothing nicer than sitting with the Guru, having wonderful darshan, but not always. Even we were fortunate in some countries, we got to see Srila Gurudev. He'd come here, he'd go to America and go on tour, and then return back here on the way back. And we saw him so much. And although even when Srila Gurudev was here in London, I would always be quite busy and quite happy to sit with him for just, you know, a little bit in the day. But some devotees who, you know, maybe couldn't afford to go to India, he didn't maybe go to their country so often. They had to really, the little association they had online or by messages or phone, they held on to those very dearly, and that inspires them for their whole spiritual life. So it's not actually to do with location in many ways. And I remember when I'd been in India for 6 months, that I've been sitting in front of Srila Gurudev in Vrindavan, and he was talking, and I think obviously he gave me that realization that actually being here in London, doing service here, whatever I was doing, I was actually closer to him than I was sitting there in front of him listening, because I was more, that separation does make you focus on them and hold on to them more. Sometimes if you're with them too much, you can just get a bit like not so focused. So he gave me that realization, and that always helped me in my devotional life. And yes, I love to hear the devotees, senior devotees, talking about Srila Guru Maharaj and, you know, his wonderful personality. Like, you know, every time you read and hear about him more, you realize how, you know, magnificent he was, and still it's impossible to actually realize his greatness, because it's, you know, my little pea brain can't understand that, but I know it is true. And yes, the son of the Gaudiya mission, you know, the sunlight, that he was distributing to everyone was obviously, you know, beyond an understanding that I have really. So but I know I'm so fortunate to have even heard about him, to hear his glories and pastimes, and to know his disciples. And yeah, maybe one day in time and space, might get to sit with him for a moment or like that. But it's all good that we just know about him, as I understand, you know. So yeah. I think that's about it for me. Yeah.
Lavanya, very grateful, very happy to hear from you. And I can hear Gurudev smiling. Is that possible? When you were saying about how you feel closer to him when you're connected through seva, then necessarily perhaps always sitting close to him, because the connection with Guru, the connection with Vaishnava is certainly seva. And we've seen that in the life of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, and sending, I mean, positively sending devotees to go to do service in a particular places. And that is the connection with Guru. So yes, and then when as you also mentioned, that somebody gets a message in a phone call or one of those blue airmail letters or something like this, one message, and then they hold on to that for their whole lives. Which is a little reminder too about Srila Prabhupada. We were discussing Srila Prabhupada. He met with Srila Saraswati Thakur, his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, just a handful or more, but not 2 handfuls of times. And even then, not extensively. Hare Krishna. Satkarada Pandit.
Yes, yes.
Oh, you're there. Okay. Yes. Anyway, you're very welcome, Prabhu. Do come and join us. But
I'm actually on evening cooking duty, Maharaj, so I have to carry on with that.
Oh, the Lordship is very hungry. Yes, please look after the Lord nicely. That's it. One of the most important duties in the temple. Prabhu, if you do get a moment later, do come and share. We're a little short of London devotees because they're in Tikul, as you know.
Right.
Anyway, Prabhu, I'm happy to hear you're there, but your family's in Slovenia, right? Hungary, nearby, yeah. All right, Prabhu.
All right.
More later. Yeah, Dandavad. So we just mentioned that Srila Prabhupada, he met with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur a few times, less than 2 handfuls of times. But what he heard from Saraswati Thakur, which wasn't extensive, but this guidance, this instruction, this indication, you know English, you should present Mahaprabhu's teachings in English to the English-speaking world. And he kept that instruction. And in due course of time, we know the result of that. Through that service, through that connection, we all, the whole world has got some access, real substantial access to Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada gave us Guru Maharaj. And Srila Guru Maharaj gave us Srila Govinda Maharaj. So this way, everything is interrelated, but this emphasis on the fact it didn't have to be long association, but to hold on and to understand that the savor that's required from us, what's needed of us from Guru. So in a similar way, devotees, they were in the mat, fairly short time perhaps with Guru Maharaj, but came and then took his message back to the Western world. And hence we have Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, the substantial Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, which is Guru Maharaj. And what now I would just like to say is, but how do we know Guru Maharaj and how do we keep his savor and connection in his separation? It is through Srila Gurudev, through Srila Govinda Maharaj. So the disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they came to Guru Maharaj, Srila Sri Maharaj, to understand what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was saying and to get it clarified, his message. And similarly, the devotees, the disciples of Srila Guru Maharaj, they came to Gurudev and heard from Gurudev the depth of what Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj was giving. And Srila Gurudev was distributing service to Guru Maharaj, this service connection everywhere. And everything Gurudev did, he saw that it was savor to Guru Maharaj. He's not keeping anything for himself. He said, only thing I need a little petrol for my car. But that was his humility, because his car was what? A savor car. It was a chariot. And I don't know if it's registered in the spiritual, well, it must be registered in the spiritual sky. The registration number of his chariot is Divine Chariot, WMY 194. And anyway, Gurudev drove that car. And I saw today, actually, somebody sent me pictures from Navadip from today. They also sent me pictures of somebody else sent me pictures of Guru Maharaj's room, very recent pictures, which was looked after very nicely, by the way. Perhaps they were pictures taken yesterday, being his disappearance date, but they were very recent photos. And by the way, very happy to see that his room and veranda and area is being looked after, very nicely. It's all paka, very clean, nicely maintained, painted. And his shelves, which we were quite familiar with, by the way, his shelves looked just like we want them to look, the same way as when Srila Guru Maharaj disappeared from this world. We saw the shelves. But only one thing I didn't see when I was looking for it, because we were mentioning about his radio the other day. Guru Maharaj used to listen to the news on the radio. He was aware, he was worldly wise, in other words. He had his ear on the world. But I didn't see that radio. And I hope it is there, because we have a very soft spot for that radio also. But I was happy to see his clock, the original clock. It doesn't work. I know it doesn't work. It stopped working in 1985, probably, because then Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, he needed a clock that he could hear the time. So then he got a new clock, or the devotees gave a new clock, but it was an electric clock. And of course, it doesn't have the same sort of character as an old wooden wind-up clock that chimes, that, it's the special chime that we hear in so many of the recordings of Srila Guru Maharaj speaking. So, but I was very happy to see the old clock. Anyway, but also, I was going to say, I was sent a video, not of this year, but of a previous year, a very, very sweet video, which included some Sankirtan in the Centenary Memorial Building. And there was that car of Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj's car. They've always said, this is Guru Maharaj's car, really. But he was humbly said, the only thing I need, little petrol for the car. But I saw the car in the museum. So that was, it wasn't meant to stay there, actually. It was put in a museum as an exhibit for a short time. But then the car never left the museum. It stayed in there. So there we are. But anyway, the point is that Gurudev saw that everything was Guru Maharaj's. And he felt, okay, I'm using the car, then I need some petrol for the car. But that's his humility, because that is in seva. But anything Gurudev engages, uses for anything, whether it's money or any other thing, then that is going to Guru Maharaj. By it coming to Guru Maharaj, Gurudev sees that everyone has got his connection that way. So not separated, but connected through seva, through service. And some of you, I hope some of you do listen to audios, etc., on the relevant days. And yesterday there were audios posted on the Math website, scsmath.com. And there, beautiful descriptions by Srila Gurudev of Srila Guru Maharaj, and different talks, different times, giving the light on Guru Maharaj, showing him in different light, showing the gem in different light. But very intense times. And I'm just looking to see, I would like to invite a disciple of Guru Maharaj to say a few words, but I don't think we have, unless I'm mistaken somewhere here. But anyhow, we are here means we are here to share something. And you've been all hearing discourses, hearing talks, and as Lavanya Mayi Devi said, we've all been hearing various aspects of the disappearance of Guru Maharaj and living in separation. And one thing that I can also say is that we were with Guru Maharaj for that last while, for several months before he disappeared, and rendering service in Navadvip by Guru Maharaj's request. And when Srila Guru Maharaj disappeared, then of course we were there and very much felt his disappearance, very strongly, everybody. And we can say, so separation from Srila Guru Maharaj, who is our example of the best disciple and servitor of Guru Maharaj, or the disciple, the servitor of Guru Maharaj. And that is Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. So we were there with Srila Gurudev. as Guru Maharaj disappeared, and all of this build up to his disappearance, and then Guru Maharaj's disappearance. And so we saw Srila Gurudev's own tragedy of the heart with Guru Maharaj's disappearance. And our next generation, or all of us, we certainly are not on the spiritual platform. We have our emotion. So we always told we have to separate emotion from devotion. But Gurudev is on that spiritual platform, not in the emotion platform. But everything has its proper place. And Mahaprabhu was heartful, the devotees all had heart. And Srila Gurudev had so much heart. Every devotee who's met him, whether his official disciple or not, whether his disciple or not, or from anywhere, any devotee who met Gurudev knows he has a big heart. But Gurudev also devastated at the disappearance of Guru Maharaj. And we haven't been discussing his disappearance as such, because it's too sad. We've been discussing and taking the opportunity to discuss Guru Maharaj's qualities and what he has left in the he's left himself in the world. Very clearly, Gurudev stresses this too, that we can pray to Guru Maharaj. He can hear us. He is watching. We can pray similarly to Gurudev. He can hear us. He is watching. And we know it if we are in some difficult situation and really we have to take shelter. Everybody knows really that the Guru is still present, even in a disappeared form, in a not visible form. So anyway, I just gently mentioned that separation from Srila Guru Maharaj, which Devashishu gave some title. We've got the example of Gurudev, rather than our own examples, if you like. And Srila Gurudev, he was devastated. And Guru Maharaj's veranda was like a tragedy zone when Guru Maharaj disappeared. And one point, to note is that really Guru Maharaj, yes, we all know theoretically Guru Maharaj must disappear soon, if you know what I mean. And even Gurudev knew that he will disappear sometime soon because he read the environment when the earthquake came. And the earthquake happened in Navadip, and it was reasonably severe. Not like a New Zealand earthquake when the houses fall down, or in Mexico many years ago, there's bad earthquakes. Sometimes I don't read the news. I'm sure still earthquakes happen and houses fall down. It wasn't that severe, but it was quite severe in the sense of when you're not used to earthquakes and everything's doing this, then you think, oh, this is an earthquake. Even the ground we stand on is not solid. And the point is that Navadip is not an earthquake zone. So it's not like earthquakes happen all the while. And in all my time in Navadip, by the way, only 2 earthquakes plus that tsunami that devastated the coast of Thailand and some coastal areas of eastern India, that very famous tsunami from a few years ago, and also devastated part of Japan, maybe the same tsunami. But that was felt in Navadip, incidentally. I didn't feel it, but the devotees came running to me, ringing the office bell. We had the pulling bell for the office, and they're saying, come, bring the video camera, bring the video camera. And Govinda Kund was like a bathtub. If you don't know what a bathtub is, everyone had a shower now. If you get a bathtub and rock it, then the water goes splash, 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 in the tub. And so Govinda Kund was like that on that tsunami, and it was splashing and overflowing from the next bank and then splashing, overflowing from that bank, with the steps were there at that time. But except for that, which I didn't feel, so senseless, the only other earthquakes I've known in Navadip were that time of Srila Guru Maharaj's disappearance. And it was a week before Guru Maharaj's disappearance, that there was the earthquake. And Gurudev, he expressed that Guru Maharaj must leave soon. This is the earth trembling at the knowing that these holy feet are, that the earth is going to be deprived of these holy feet. Some way like this, Guru Maharaj expressing. And the earth is a human. The earth is a personality. The personality, Bhumi Devi. So we are all, accustomed from day one to seeing everything as matter and planets as solid rocks that just happen to be floating in space by a random big bomb blast some time ago of nothing, because nothing existed. So anyway, whatever the kind of feeble explanations are to try to deny the presence of the Lord. But when we see Gurudev's viewpoint, the viewpoint of the rishis and sages, everything has personality, and the earth knew that Guru Maharaj was going to leave. And this earthquake was the shuddering of the earth in knowing that soon she's going to be bereft of the holy feet of Srila Guru Maharaj. Many ways Gurudev illustrated how supreme was Srila Guru Maharaj. Anyhow, we can also understand that Guru Maharaj, theoretically must leave soon, but still nobody, including, I shouldn't speak from the inner heart of Gurudev, but really Gurudev wasn't, he kind of couldn't conceive that Guru Maharaj won't be here until present, physically, directly present, until he had disappeared. And why I can say this is that we were right there and then right together just after Guru Maharaj disappeared. Then, as the dust settles, then Gurudev brought us to that veranda, the first veranda as you enter to Guru Maharaj's quarters, where the settee, those two armchairs are, open area. And there was a table there, and Gurudev is sitting there, and another 1, 2, 3 devotees and myself, and not always 3. And we were very few. But Gurudev, he is there, and then Gurudev said, really, and he said, like, with whole heart, now what shall we do? Now what shall we, what are we going to do now? And Gurudev said, I've never been to any acharyas or anybody's samadhi ceremony. Said, I've never been, I've not seen what happens. And then Gurudev we are sitting there thinking, how will we proceed? And Gurudev asked for pen and paper, and we had pen, paper, and we started to make a list of, okay, what we have to do now. And one of the urgencies, by the way, was to get news to the world of devotees. And that, news to the world, that Guru Maharaj has passed away, and that he disappeared. And one thing I didn't mention was that the evening before, it was torrential rain. It was monsoon rain times 10, or in Vaishnavism times 100. But it was in like regular calculation. We can say like 10 times, 5 times if you like. But it was in incredible monsoon. And I was sent by Guru Maharaj's secretary, I'm the assistant secretary to him, by Bajranarayan, to go and send telegrams that now Guru Maharaj must leave the world very soon. Come here to Navadip. But to get to the telegram office in Calcutta, in Navadip, it was almost impossible. It was torrential rain. There's no electricity. All electricity is out. The road is flooded to chest height going down there. And then to cap it all, of course, with all the rain and everything, then the telegraph office isn't working. So it wasn't possible. But this torrential rain, extraordinarily heavy rain the night before, and so much rain it can't escape, everything flooded. Then it became more and more clear Guru Maharaj will disappear. But one of the first things on the list that Gurudev wrote is put in there. It was like, how will we get news to the world and what will we say? So that the world will know, that the devotee world will know that Srila Guru Maharaj has passed away. And in India, because there are devotees all over India, not only the West, there are devotees of Guru Maharaj since many years before, all over India. So then we made an announcement for newspaper and radio and television. And we worded an announcement with Gurudev in English and in Bengali. In English we made, maybe this devotee translated it to Bengali, but we made in English so it would get into the national newspaper, the Bengal newspaper, national TV and national radio. So anyway, it's a long story, that part, no doubt, how it happened, because there's no railway line, because it got washed away in last night's rain. So there's no railway line, no train, believe it or not. And then no public transport, no buses, no nothing. But anyhow, Krishna arranged a very capable and energetic devotee, and he loves a challenge, and he succeeded by hook or by crook to do this duty. And we have much relationship with him. He's now doing other things, but really Krishna sends devotees for a certain duty in a certain time. Anyhow, the devotee very enthusiastically did successfully, and Guru very happy about that. Of course, he didn't come back that day. He got the news, after a couple of days about the success of everything and how he got that there. But this was one of the first things Gurudev wanted to do, to let the devotees know of Guru Maharaj's disappearance. And then he's making a strategy. Now, what are we going to do? Guru Maharaj has disappeared, and now we have to prepare a samadhi, prepare where Guru Maharaj will stay. His body won't. Already there'd been pre-discussion with Guru Maharaj by Gurudev, with Gurudev, and Guru Maharaj had agreed humbly, finally, not initially, humbly agreed that his body can be put into samadhi for the satisfaction of the devotees rather than burnt. Earlier, Guru Maharaj said no, must cremate, and later, by the affection and dedication of Gurudev, and then they'd had some discussion where Guru Maharaj had given the green light, as it were, to be buried and not burned. And so anyway, then Gurudev is starting to arrange how to make the samadhi, what will happen. And at this time, when we are sitting on Guru Maharaj's veranda, and Gurudev is at a bit of a, he's never at a loss. He's going to find a way, will do something. But while he's sitting, trying to understand how we should prepare Guru Maharaj's form, and where will we do, what shall we do, how is it done? That time, two bright Bengali red-clad brahmacharis came. They arrived, and they looking very strong and looking very, bright, auspicious. We can say, really looking auspicious. And these two brahmacharis came, and very humbly, we are seated there, and they introduced themselves and said, Gurudev, Govinda Maharaj, we are here to render service if you wish. We have experience with this of different samadhis. We have experience, and we came to you this morning. We've come here now, and we're ready to serve you. Just give the order, and we can make arrangement for Srila Guru Maharaj's form, everything that's needed. And Gurudev was astonished. He talked with them. Negotiated with them. Negotiated means talking, negotiation. you really have experience? And then like he's checking a little bit, must check that, really, yes, they know. And then Gurudev was astonished. He gave them full responsibility, open door, whatever they need, everything. And he arranged the Bandari and the devotees to supply whatever is needed, to all give assistance. So they were the coordinators, these two brahmacharis. And when Gurudev had negotiated and they'd said what they need and all these things, and Gurudev agreeing, and maybe some list was given, they were there a little time. When they went downstairs from Guru Maharaj, then the devotee, then Srila, when they went downstairs from Guru Maharaj's veranda and being with Gurudev, then Srila Gurudev, like mouth open, and saying, how did they know? Where have they come from? And Krishna, sent these brahmacharis, and Gurudev referred to this again and again in later talks about the disappearance of Guru Maharaj. And we haven't been really, we touched a little bit on Guru Maharaj's disappearance this year. And remember, now is already 2 full days we've been discussing separation from Guru Maharaj in some way. So anyway, today thinking we will, as Lavanya said, many things have been said about our connection through service and through Gurudev. Of course, headed by Gurudev, and even I can say, essentially coming through Gurudev. This was Guru Maharaj's not only wish, he showed it in those last 2+ years since he appointed Srila Guru Maharaj and gave the chair to him and retired. We saw his dealings with the devotees and so many things. And so those who are rendering service, engaging in Krishna consciousness through Gurudev, then Guru Maharaj is accepting in this channel. It is sure, this channel, anybody can do what they like, but that's freedom. Krishna has given freedom, so many things. But if we want the channel of Guru Maharaj, really we must come to Gurudev and recognize who is Gurudev in their eternal relationship with Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. So anyway, this way, giving a little bit of an indication of Gurudev's separation from Guru Maharaj, because he really is our perfect example of all dealings and all everything. And how much heart for Guru Maharaj and how much heart for the devotees. The first thing we must tell the devotees, we must get news to them. Hare Krishna. And I have to say, specifically, that evening before, then specifically Govinda Maharaj is saying, you must get news to Goswami Maharaj. Goswami Maharaj made me promise, tell me that if we know Guru Maharaj is going to leave, we must call him, that he will come and be here. And so this way, Gurudev had that specific mention to him. He saw so much that Goswami Maharaj had broadcast Guru Maharaj to the world very appropriately. So, we must say what is truth, and that is there very happily. So, Gurudev, full of heart and devastated with Guru Maharaj's disappearance, but as soon as everything, now that we have duty to do, then pulling everything together, pulling the devotees together, everybody getting over the shock of what we know must happen, I suppose, but we don't know it will happen until it's happened. And then making the different steps of what to do. And how Gurudev first giving attention for the devotees, caring for the devotees, and caring for the devotees all over India, in Bombay, in Delhi, Madras, dotted around all over Bengal. He wanted them to know, he wants everyone to know, this must be known to the devotees. And then the devotee who got that news out, his name is Gupta Govardhan Prabhu. And he did a lot of valuable service at the time when it needed somebody with that very energetically confident, assertive nature. And he had that nature, And that nature used in service, very valuable. And to give credit to the devotees, he's not now, Gupta Govardhan Prabhu is not now actively with the devotees. He's had some other ambitions as well. But he was very instrumental in getting Srila Gurudev's passport at the time when Gurudev is being invited abroad. And who is the first person who invited Gurudev to go abroad? Was Srila Prabhupada. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So from long ago, Gurudev is being invited to come and see the devotees, see what's happening in the West, come and report to Gurudev, to Guru Maharaj. This is how Srila Prabhupada repeatedly inviting Gurudev to go. And the devotees around the world repeatedly inviting him. But Gurudev, first is service. And he's keeping his, obviously keeping his service. He's looking after Guru Maharaj, looking after everything in Navadvip. And so, now is not the time, appreciating that invitation. But when the time came that Gurudev felt that, yes, now I can accept that invitation to go, then this same devotee who was able to do the impossible on that day, and by the way, he came back with some very happy stories of how he did the impossible, the Indian way and his own way. He did it very, very efficiently to get the news out. And then he did the impossible to get Gurudev's passport. Why impossible? Only because Gurudev was, as he said, I was a village boy. I mean, that's how Gurudev describes himself. And when you come to show the papers to the government that he's born and bred in India and everything else, there's no birth certificate, no school certificate, no any certificates of anything at all. And when you don't have anything at all except a person, it's very difficult to convince officialdom that they are that they have this name and that name and everything else. And if anybody ever saw or sees a photograph now, I suppose, of Srila Gurudev's passport, in India, at least at that time, the passports, they show the name of your mother, name of your father, a name of your father, at least, I think is there. The name of your father, then, and place of residence. Anyway, whatever the details were, but certainly his father's name is Swami B.R. Sridhar. And as the Americans would say, go figure, Swami B.R. Sridhar is his father. And Gurudev, yes, my spiritual father, why not? So anyway, only in India, many things like this are possible. But this devotee, he did the impossible for specific things like this and other specific things, by the way. So every devotee, if we meet somebody today or meet a devotee at any time, we don't necessarily know what's behind, what's in their background, what have they done. Nitya Sukriti, Nitya Seva. And Gurudev recognizes small things that relatively small things that devotees have done in the past, and sees that as Nitya Seva, eternal. That is in the eternal bank account. And as we said earlier, Nitya Seva to whom? To Guru Maharaj, person of the highest, sadhu of the highest caliber. It's easy to say sadhu. We get used to this word sadhu. Oh, sadhu, he's a sadhu, she's a sadhu, this, that, and the other. But that quality, that standard, that quality we read about in Sri Guru and his grace, the gradation of those who are coming to give us our spiritual fortune. And then we can just sit back and look back and see, that is Guru Maharaj, that is Gurudev, that is Srila Prabhupada, those with 2 feet in that upper world and coming to here to take us. And even there in the upper world, there is gradation. And yesterday's disappearance day, then I expect you also, many of you will have heard and read, etc., various places where Srila Gurudev is saying, what topmost regard those godbrothers of Guru Maharaj had for Srila Guru Maharaj. And they are giving that analogy, that not analogy, they are saying that Hapanya is non-different from Varshana, the appearance place of Radharani. And one after another of those topmost strong Vaishnava godbrothers of Guru Maharaj saying that. So this way there is gradation in Krishna's land, there's gradation in Mahaprabhu's land. And this highest plane came here now in the embodiment, embodied as Srila Guru Maharaj, embodied as Srila Gurudev. So disappearance, living in separation. Yes, we're trying to stay on the theme, but myself thinking to use Srila Gurudev as the best example of living in separation. And he has shown us, as everybody's heard again and again, must be, shown us clearly, Guru Maharaj disappeared. He did not depart. And Gurudev had many challenges. Try doing anything in Bengal, dear devotees. It's not really a challenge. We don't want you to do anything without very good cause. But I mean, Bengal is a very difficult place to get things done. But Gurudev faced many challenges, many difficulties, but always at the lotus feet of Guru Maharaj, and crossing all these difficulties, always Guru Maharaj is present, not disappeared. Guru Maharaj has given this solution this way. Always referring to Guru Maharaj, not as history, but referring that he will refer to Guru Maharaj. And questions come to Gurudev. Circumstances in the world are always coming, especially when we start to get internet, then more easy to communicate. So more questions are coming to Srila Gurudev. And circumstances are coming, and Gurudev is coming across new circumstances. But so many times he will say to the devotees, I will consult with Guru Maharaj, then I will say. And really he's consulting with Guru Maharaj. And he's telling us about his consulting with Guru Maharaj. And then he's giving some reply to the devotees. And this also fits, not fits in, is also another way we can understand this nature, is how he had us make for him, print out and put on his wall, like we say, we make posters. Well, he wanted the poster where he can see it every day, both in Calcutta, where he was often in the Dum Dum Park temple, because Calcutta is the administrative place where you get things done in Calcutta. In Navadip is another category. And in Navadip, it's the spiritual center, the spiritual home, but so much seva was being done in Calcutta. And Gurudev, he wanted in Dum Dum Park in Calcutta, in front of him, so I can see every day. And in Navadip, in front of me, so I can see every day. We printed out on the pillar that phrase in Bengali and in English, wait and see. Wait and see what is the descending wish of the Lord, and then do that, not to do anything hastily. And Gurudev would consult with Guru Maharaj, would wait and see, and then proceed. So in separation, we can be separate in one sense, but we can be very close in another sense. And that sense we must maintain. And not get dragged into all sorts of things which don't give a tick mark of what we can hear and understand Gurudev and Guru Maharaj want. They do not, if they do not want, we cannot say yes. What is that? We are not in that department. We want to do as Gurudev did, only what Guru Maharaj wants. As Guru Maharaj did, only what Srila Saraswati Thakur indicated. We want that as much as possible. And we hope that each other can help each other also to understand that nature. And hence, please do read Guru Maharaj and Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada books every day in a proper sequence. Get to know their nature, how everything is coming to love, beauty, sweetness, and charm. How we have to have humility, tolerance, give honor to others, not to criticize anybody except oneself. And that self-criticism is not just I am so fallen, I am so fallen, but to correct, criticize oneself and correct that. All these absolute essentials that Gurudev and Guru Maharaj have given us, but the love, beauty, sweetness, charm. This side is the drawing side, the attracting side. And Guru Maharaj was full of that. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was full of that. We know of that from Guru Maharaj, even though he was the lion guru, that he was full of affection for the devotees and for the fallen souls. And Guru Maharaj, we have lived that life with him and seen his super affection and his grandness and his all that lion side of Guru Maharaj, that strong side, but all too with that affection on the inside. And Srila Gurudev also, that lion side. Gurudev had the lion side, but the affection on the inside. So when we sing that song, Pranamami Sada Prabhupada Padam, we can also see that is a description of the great souls who are strong for the ideal and who are compassionate for the fallen souls, and especially soft-hearted for those who are trying to be devotees, and encouraging them, never discouraging, always giving encouragement. Whatever wrong may be, okay, but seeing the right that is there, they've got some faith, they've got some recognition, they're doing some service, they're doing something. And this way, as Lavanya Mayi pointed out, maybe some small thing in terms of length of time that's been said to us, maybe a sentence, maybe some guidance given, but we can hold on to that forever. And there is a book called Affectionate Guidance by Srila Gurudev. There's a book called Revealed Truth by Gurudev. There's a book called Divine Guidance, and a book called, various by Gurudev. And there's a book called Search for Sri Krishna Reality, the Beautiful. The golden volcano of divine love. The loving search for the lost servant. Our beautiful loving masters. And it's all for real. It is sure all for real. We have best masters. We must try to be at least students sufficient to stay in the class. Not to get kicked out of the class. And recently, Srila Guru Maharaj told, and Gurudev told too, but I'm remembering what Srila Guru Maharaj and things that we've been hearing. Srila Guru Maharaj saying that we are studying, the family of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas coming from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to the present day. We are studying in the same class as Lord Brahma. And then, that sounds amazing the first time we hear it, but the more we understand what Guru Maharaj is giving, what Srila Saraswati Thakur is giving, what Rupa, the six Goswamis, what Mahaprabhu is giving, it is super supreme. And sometimes, a little drop or a drop of an atom of a drop, like goes through our thick skull, and we realize actually it is amazing what we've come in touch with, and we've got such a super opportunity. But we are in Kali Yuga, so there's fault and everything all around, and it's going to always be there. We can't change others, we can't change the world, but we individually have this super opportunity, and we must really put the umbrella up to stop all the unwanted things. We must really try to put into practice the guidance that's being given. Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura, we sing it every day, sometimes twice a day. But what is Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura also asking us? Please, dear Vaishnavas, you help me to control the 6 urges. You help me to avoid those things which are going to damage devotional life. Please help me to have those 6 things which will give me full energy in devotional life and protection. Help me to have the 6 kinds of loving association with the devotees. Help me in this way. That, Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakur, very easy to sing. That is reminding us of these things. And it's not just to memorize them or not memorize them at all, just sing it. It's very easy to do. But we have to put into practice. And we must say, it's Srila Gurudev is famous for it. Guru Maharaj is famous for it. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswat Thakur famous for it. Mahaprabhu is famous for what? Emphasizing humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, and not wanting honor for oneself. So we've heard this so many times from Guru Maharaj and from Srila Gurudev, countless times. I can't count how many times. Even though I passed further mathematics in school, still I can't count how many times Gurudev talked about this subject. And Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj repeatedly. And who is Srila Gurudev also? He is the hand-formed devotee that Guru Maharaj wants. Every father, we can say every parent wants, to have the perfect child. Well, Guru Maharaj, he made the perfect devotee. This is Gurudev. The perfect student comes to the perfect master, and you get some very wonderful things. And so Gurudev, you can see his stress on this humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. Hare Krishna. Anyway, in separation, living in separation of Guru Maharaj means service, means taking the shelter of those devotees who are in that current. And we must try our best. And we must try our best in the service mood to have such association. And such association also, we're given how to associate. To come with surrender, to come with some humility, not just to come and demand something, or tell me this, tell me that, do this, but with some humility, with relevant inquiry, and with savor. This is the whole process throughout our spiritual life. It is not a selfish matter. It's coming to see how we can be a dedicating. Okay, it is 7:30 p.m. in London. It's 8:30 p.m. in Italy, and in many places around the world where we are. And we've got all these devotees here with us. And I'm sure everybody's ready to say something. So you can practice. How will you practice? Meet up with devotees around you and share something you know about Guru Maharaj and about Gurudev. Read something that inspires you when you are reading in sequence through the books, not just randomly picking up a book. When you're reading in your daily sadhana, sadhana is not a 4-letter word. Sadhana is a rich activity that we should all be doing. When we're reading, and there are things that encourage us from the words of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, help us understand their nature. That means us, all, not only those who met and were with Guru Maharaj, met and were with Gurudev, but everybody, all that have come within that line, to know them as much as possible and share what you know, what you gather. And so wherever you are, try to keep association with similar-minded devotees who've got faith, must be faithful to Guru Maharaj, to Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. Then we're going to get very healthy, good association. Okay, I better stop speaking. I better stop speaking. We've got some jais here. They're all hungry. Even though we had the best feast in the world yesterday, I know other temples also had the best feast in the world yesterday. But this is another of the beauties of Krishna consciousness, that we can have the best feast in the world and the best feast ever, and so can you. This is a wonderful thing in Krishna consciousness. So I'm sure in London too you had the best feast ever. And I did. Yes, Lavanya Devi.
We had Navali and Ajay cooking with Pandita and Nadia Rani, and it was really a wonderful feast.
Oh my goodness.
Great.
So you had the best feast in the world, and we had Munindra Mohan Prabhu, Krishna Kanta Devi Dasi cooking with a whole team, international team of cooks and cutters with produce from the garden, which Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, heading the garden team, very carefully cultivating for Krishna service.
Maharaj, can we ask one tiny question?
Sure.
From one of our devotees here. They're asking, Gurudev would consult with Guru Maharaj all the time, when Guru Maharaj wasn't physically present. And how can we commune with our Guru like that, also like that? That is the question.
The answer is heart to heart. Heart to heart. And with sincerity. This is my answer. And we honestly feel whether we are in, yes, okay, we are in illusion, but whether we are in illusion or not, we feel sometimes we have to consult with Gurudev and with Guru Maharaj. They have, after all, shown us the example. So we must also try. And we must have some thought in our heart that inspiration, if we get some inspiration, feeling some answer, we should consider it with our eyes open. And then something serious, we hope we've got somebody in the world we can check with. That, does this sound right to you? But heart to heart and sincerity. And can be more than just a feeling. Like Gurudev would say, if your Gurudev comes to you in a dream, you should give attention. At least this coming in a dream is auspicious. But we know we are in illusion. So if Gurudev comes with some extraordinary request in our dream, we may think, that's my dream. That's my imagination. Hare Krishna. Because we do need checks and balances, because we know, as Guru Maharaj said, as much as we are clean in the heart, we can capture from the Paramatma in the heart. We can capture from the Guru within. We can capture direction. But we must be very careful, because our cleanliness, we may think, I'm very pure, but we know we have got lots of layers of wrong things still covering that clean person inside. So we should try to always have checks and balances. But still, sometimes we can think some very clear indication is coming from our Divine Master. But we must come with sincerity, and we must come with heart, and not try to make up an answer ourselves we want to hear. Okay, dear ones all over the world, really very happy seeing the videos of those who got video on, and if you're turning on your video, we'll be very happy to see those of you who are not on video. And really, all the way from Australia, all the way over to Brazil and Ireland, all the way over to Ireland. That's just next door to London. And USA, yes, and all corners of the world. Ananda Sarupini also also there. And we, by the way, the London Festival is coming soon. So 24th of August, we're already on the 4th of, or we're already on the 5th of August. So 24th of August is the London Festival.
And Pandita is here, Maharaj.
Rasamai Pandita Devi Rasi, my obeisances. Actually, we have you small on the screen at a little distance. So we're seeing by hearing. That's okay. We have to stop here. But how do we see Guru Maharaj actually and have his association? Our process, we see by hearing. We can see Guru Maharaj by hearing from those who see him in actuality. So we can see Guru Maharaj by hearing from Gurudev. On this final note for you to meditate on, we'd better continue here, and we'll let everybody continue their devotional lives in the different quarters. But our appreciation to our translators into Portuguese and into Russian, and the appreciation for all the devotees here and who are seeing the recorded version too. And let us all continue safely in the boat with the captain of the boat, the captain, navigator, whatever, but the controllers, the guides of the boat, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, and the upraised hands of the devotees in Sankirtan are the oars of that boat to cross over to the other side. Just see the songbook and you will find out it is so. All right, dear ones, by the grace of Mahaprabhu, grace of Sri Gandhavika, grace of Gopinath, and grace of Balagopal, Sri Giriraj, we are here in Italy as a next door neighbor to London, and we hope that we are able to do a little service to nourish the devotees and share something, whatever we can understand of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj on this topic that Devashish Prabhu has given. And our obeisances, our jais to Devashish Prabhu, the secretary of the London chapter of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Our jais, of course, to Om Vishnupad Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj, to Om Vishnupad Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rock of Sri Radhe Goswami Maharaj, to Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti, Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Our obeisances to Om Vishnupad Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga, the deities in West London, in East London, to all the devotees present, to the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda, all those who are bringing Mahaprabhu's teachings through Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and to all the unlimited devotees everywhere. Vancha kalpatarubhischa kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Hare Krishna,